Marauders, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be installing on my 2025 BMW R1300 GS Touratech pannier racks. Let's get a look at the racks. I'll explain once these are mounted why I went with black racks. This will be my adventure bike, and I'm hoping to do some off-road riding in the southern tier with a friend Mike, and maybe down at Kissel Motorsports for one or two of their events. Was supposed to come with knobby tires and it did not. So before start of installation is removing the BMW stock pannier racks and also the foot pegs. And let's get started on that. I don't own any BMW apparel. We're working on that though. A friend is helping me, which is nice. Okay, let's remove. This is a 40 Torx. Wow, these are long bolts. Then the mount. Ooh, there's a Torx on the bottom. You can see that. And she's long. There's a zip tie here holding this wire assembly. And with a small set of wire cutters, I'm going to cut that zip tie without cutting the wire. That zip tie is cut, this wire is loose. Now, as everything falls apart, I have to undo these Torx 27 bolts on the back because I don't want to just cut that wire. So let's spin this around. Okay, let's try a Torx 25 on this. Here we go. And then this cover, back cover should come off, I think. We got the back cover off. Yay, you gotta remove this cover, electrical cover on it. So the cover is off, and then I have to cut this zip tie. Hopefully you can see this. I got to cut this zip tie to get this wiring harness loose. So that zip tie is loose. And then I have to pull up on this lock. Try to get a nail behind it. Little screwdriver. Let's see if that works. I wonder, why do I do this? Why do we do these hobbies? Do you ever wonder why we're doing it? Okay, so I'm holding it out with a little pressure from a screwdriver, and then that comes out very easily. And then that, bada bing, she's off. That's how that, I'm going to reassemble this and save it, obviously. Now I'm going to wrap that in electric tape because I am going to pull this up through the chassis, pull the rear seat off and pull this wire up, both of them on both sides. We want to be courteous and demure. Do we want to be courteous and demure? I don't think so either. Okay. By the way, please consider subscribing to my channel, liking the video, sharing it with a friend. I would appreciate that. That's how we keep score. I appreciate you taking your valuable time to watch the video. I'm going to use the stock bolts, and I'm going to loosely put the peg, the passenger foot peg, back on like that. And this bracket gets mounted between the foot peg mount and the frame of the bike. Okay, we're just going to put that on loosely. We're all about transparency. All about transparency here on the Marauder channel. Our pannier mount is going to mount to this in the front. Now, I'm going to do a little catch up. I might put you in fast motion because I'm going to do everything I did on this side to this point on the other side, and then I'm going to proceed to take the seat off and tuck the wire up. So okay, now I'm going to put the pannier in loosely before I loosen this bolt to drop the tail light section and take the seat off to pull these wires up. Because I think they want these other bolts in to hold the rack from moving when we unbolt this. So I'm going to follow their instructions, kind of. So this is about a 2.5 inch Allen bolt with a washer on it. I put a washer on it. And then a long spacer. They give you two spacers, a long one and a short one. The long spacer goes in. Well, it lines up pretty good. Okay, so we're going to try to thread that in. And it's not going too well. Yeah, I think I'm threaded in. Okay, and then this is weird because this is a 13 millimeter head bolt that's about a 2 3/16 long, that they don't give you a hex head or Allen bolt head for that to install it. So again, another washer on the end. And I'm surprised they just have a bolt on this. And this is kind of lined up. And again, this shorter spacer goes in here. If you can see it. Bada bing. I'm actually pulling so hard on the rear handle. I'm pulling the bike on the stand around. So it looks like I got that started. Ooh, I lucked out on these two, didn't I? Okay, so these are started. And I'm gonna snug these up a little more than what they are. What do you think, guys? Okay, so that's kind of snug. Let me snug this one up a little more. Well, before I snug that one, we have another 6-inch, 6mm. Actually, it looks like a smaller bolt head. That's gonna go in the front of the mount with a 13mm bolt on the back to hold it on the mount that and we're gonna get that on. This is a 5mm Allen nut driver and a 13mm bolt on the back. So we're gonna snug this up a little bit. So that's snug. Now let's put the 6mm Allen head on and draw this in a little bit. Probably drove that in too much. Okay, and I'm gonna do the other side. I'm not gonna show that on video. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull these wires up. I already removed, you're gonna remove this bolt. And again, this is what they're telling me. And I think you remove a bolt, another bolt under here. I don't know, guys. We're playing this by... So I think in order to get this loosened up, there is 2 27 Torx screws in the tail assembly that have to be removed. That I'm going to do it blind. That's what they look like. Now, Touratech's instructions miss that. I think that's what has to happen. And I think it's a pretty big... Yeah, I'm totally doing this blind. And that's enough. That one's loosened. Let's take the seat off. Bada bing. And we are wired here. There are 2 zip ties, one there and one buried on this other side that need to be cut. That's holding the wire. So you might be able to see it. Okay, so I cut that zip tie, and now this wire, I can pull it up. Oh, got one up. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to get in to snip this other one. It's a really tight spot. Oh, I got it. Well, muchachos, really tight. It's amazing how some people gloss over this. Okay, and the zip tie fell out. I think I want to grab this other zip tie and pull it out of here. Oh, not fun. We are all about transparency on this channel. Okay, so I knocked the zip ties through, but knew that we're holding it to the frame, and I zip tied up the excess wire, and I'm tucking it in here. So this is very nice and neat, if you can see that. See the zip ties on these 2 bundles? And I'm tucking all these wires back in here, okay? Doesn't that look nice and neat? All right, let's reassemble the tail section. I won't show you putting those screws back. I put in the Torx 27 bolts, and now I'm reinstalling the Torx 40 bolts that I took out of the bottom of this assembly that hold this in place, and also on the side of it. So I'm going to send these home. Then the ones on the side I'm going to grab. And then there's one on the back side. Okay. It kind of pushes up against the license plate. Okay, so I'm going to connect these 2 panniers with this cross piece across the back. Okay? And you put in, they give you this plastic insert, like so, and it goes in the end of the crossbar. Kind of fills it in. Okay, I have one on this end. And then they give you this cap to put over it. So I drop it. Never drop. You have to start over, completely over if you drop things. Don't drop them. And then they give you, I would say these are 1-inch 27 Torx 27 bolts to put in with a washer. And then with, I believe it's a 10mm nylon nut on the back. So we're going to put those in like so, get them started on both sides. And don't let it bang up against the machine, or you got to start over. Get them roughed into place. It's actually pushing against the license plate bracket. And after I do this, oh, I forgot to put in that cap. So after I do this, it's just torquing everything down. And I think I'm going to start with the foot pegs. Actually, I'm going to start with these. I'm going to torque these down. And I'm not going to show you torquing everything down. I'll show you at the end how it looks. Is that a blast from the past? That's how my channel started, with that tractor. Wow, it really could blow snow. Man, that thing blew some snow. Oh, I'm doing my neighbor's yard. Look at the snow we have. That must have been a storm. Okay, enough of that. Okay, let's look at these. I believe, don't hold me to this, I believe Touratech makes components for BMW. They may have even made these lower crash bars on the bike. So the quality of these components, they're powder coated. I had to wait for the black. They were on back order. The reason why I wanted black is I didn't want to go with the it's not chrome, nickel plated finish on it, because I thought it would distract from the crash bars in the front, which are beautiful, and also this steel finish here. And I do have crash bars. I'll be doing a video putting crash bars around this. I don't know if they're needed, but I wanted them on the bike. So I think the black definitely kind of blends in. If I give you a view, when I'm looking through the camera viewfinder, I pick up the chrome, I pick up the muffler, and I really don't see the black. Some nice finishing touches with Touratech is this widened sheet metal piece here with Touratech on it. I have no problem with them branding this. Again, very strong. I like that the black blends in, and my soft pannier mount is also black. So I needed these pannier mounts to mount my soft pannier mounts, and they're black, and I figured let's go with all black because I don't want them to stand out. What I like about Touratech is that it's even on equal side. It's not offset for the muffler. So I can put the same pannier, 35-liter pannier on the right as I can on the left. There's no offset in the frame. BMW did a great job of tucking the muffler and exhaust system in closer to the tire. They work. I'm really happy with the results. Really happy. The better view of the Touratech sheet metal piece here dresses it up a little bit. Very strong. And installation wasn't bad. I had to take a break to go do something with my wife. But looking through the viewfinder, it just really blends in. I don't find that as offensive. Actually, I'm happy to get those big heavy mounts off the bike, the stock mounts. You can actually see more of this frame, this rear frame assembly. Again, I think that might be Parkerized aluminum on the back. Is just beautiful on this bike. Beautiful machine. So that's how they look. I'm not sure if my next video is going to be assembling the panniers. I'll show you which panniers I purchased to go on the bike, soft panniers, or putting on the crash bars. I have a feeling I'm going to do the crash bars, and I do have light mounts for it. I do have light mounts. I think I'm going to do the crash bar and the light mount, and then show you the assembly of the panniers and mounting them. Really happy the way that looked. My brothers helped me out. You can see again how these stand out. If I had that in the metal finish, they would have really stood out on the bike, and I didn't want them to, especially with the black pannier mount. Marauders, that's it. Oh, there's my tractor. That was a good truck too. That was a beautiful truck. All right, Marauders, that's it. Hope you learned something from this video. Definitely taught you through how to get those wires tucked up in here better than any video I've seen, except I want to say Moto Papa, I think is his channel. He doesn't do the things I do, but he may have talked about tucking these lights up under there But that's not how I learned it. I just had to take it apart and do it myself. But that worked out well. You should know how to do that. Don't forget those bolts, those T27 bolts. It's all assembled. It's great. Beautiful bike, isn't it? Oh, I hope I don't scratch it up. That's my true ADV bike. This one's just going to be a touring bike. Not taking that on stones unless I have to, but this is going to be the ADV bike. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video.